Good morning, everyone. And today's topic is it's a today's topic is total quality management from the pharmaceutical quality assurance. Then, so let's see what is quality management. So, what is total quality management? It is a concept. It was created by W. Edward Deming. Actually, it was originally introduced in Japan after the World War II. And actually, it is originated in 1950, but became popular in the year 1980. So what is TQM? TQM is, what's the definition of TQM? TQM is the nothing but the total quality management. It is the art of handling the whole process to achieve perfection. Means art of handling means whatever we take, means whether it is a process, means total quality management mainly involve maintaining of the quality in the manufacturing unit or in the firm or manufacturing plant. So we have to maintain whatever process we have taken. It may be initial process or in process or in between process, middle process or final step. So we have to achieve perfection, means we have to maintain the quality in each and every step or each and every aspect in each and every step. Then what are the objectives? So what main first objective is the quality improvement in the area of product or services. So we have to improve compared to the previous batches manufactured product. We have to compare. Then where is the aspect to improve the quality? So what is the area? What is the step? In which aspect we have to improve the quality? So we have to research. So we have to find out the area of product, or it may be if it is in terms of equipment working. So it should be continuous flow, and there should not be any interruption in case of the equipment. And next is the employee relations, means employee means between the employees. If there is a cumulatively they will work, means they will maintain a team in doing the work in case of industries. So they have to maintain relations, they have to maintain good relations so that they can cooperate, they can share the work, and if there is a new aspect of working work, there is a new SOP, so they can easily share the new ideas. So they should maintain employee relations, means it should be good relation. Then third objective is the consumer business relations, means consumer who is going to consume the product which is being manufactured in the industry, and then with the business persons. Business relations means directly from the firm directly to the person it can't reach. So there is a middle persons which may be supplier or marketing person. So we have to maintain good relations with the supplier. So what happens if the consumer, means who is going to take the product? So consumer business relations, if it is a good, so what happens? Automatically there is a good feedback in terms of the product. So what happens? Automatically there will be more chances of increasing the business as well as the more output of the quality product from the industry. So next is the elements. So what are the elements of the total quality management? Main is the foundation and building bricks, binding mortar and roof. So in the foundation we will see the ethics, means minimum values. So let's see in detail later. So first we will see the ethics. In foundation there is a ethics, integrity, trust, and then in the building bricks, training, teamwork and leadership are the necessary aspects we have to maintain. And in case of binding mortar, we have to maintain the communication, means communication with the teams within the departments or intra-department. It may be intra-departmental or inter-departmental. And then roof means recognition. Let's see in detail about the different elements of the TQM. So ethics, there are two types of ethics. One is organizational ethics and the next is the individual ethics. Organization means a group of people working in the organization. So what are the ethics? Means minimum moral values. So what are the ethics we need to follow while working in an organization? So we have to establish a business code of ethics that set up guidelines that all employees has to adhere in the performance of their work. So what happens? So every organization has every individual rules according to their norms. Means rules and regulations. So every employee or every trainer who is working in the organization, they have to maintain they had to adhere to the rules and regulations of the organization. That is called the organizational ethics. Then individual ethics, mainly it refers to the personal wrongs or rights. Means individual rights means individual employee. He has personal means he refers to the individual persons, whether what he is conducting. If means in case of working procedure, we have to consider in the aspect of working procedure we have to take the consideration. If it is if he is working at his maximum possibility, or he is doing 100% potentially, so we have to check whether we have to check whether he is doing 100% with 100% potential or not, or he is involved in the whether he was involved in the whatever work has assigned to him or not. So it is the individual ethics. Then integrity integrity means we have to maintain the within the what is the aspects we have to maintain within the group or team of a department. So it includes honesty. We should be very honest, means in regarding the work we have to be whatever work we have done, whether it may be wrong data or right data, we have to be very honest regarding that. We have to maintain regarding the quality also, we have to maintain the honesty. If there is any wrongs, means there are errors, so that we can rectify the what is the aspect where we have gone wrong. Then is the morals. We have to maintain the minimum morals, means loyalty. We have to maintain the minimum loyalty in doing the procedure. Then values. We have to stick to the values according to the organization. Being in a group, every individual should maintain their values, so that what happens, there will be coordination in the work to improve mainly it will helps in the management to improve the quality and teamwork. Then fairness. We should be very more true to the fairness, means we should be very true to the whatever done we have done, very true to the done what we have done. So then sincerity means we have to maintain the discipline and sincerity. Sincerity means we have to be very stick to the rules and regulations as per the organization, and should be very disciplined in terms of work and the management of a work. So trust means loyalty. So it is important for any work. Without any trust, framework of TQM means total quality management cannot be built. So though we work together, means in group wise, in different departments, we have to maintain the trust in case of work, because whatever done we are going to do, we have to trust it, and then so that we can gain confidence, and we can build up the good quality of the final output. It is essential to ensure customer satisfaction. So what main trust? So by trusting the quality of the product, what happens? Final achievement is the customer satisfaction. So we have to get the customer satisfaction with most loyalty, means with most trust. Then building bricks. Building means main foundation to lay out the work. So what is the building brick? Training is the main building brick for the TQM. So it is important to employees that give highly productive functions within the team, which helps in solving problems, making decisions, technical skills, improvement. Training means whether it may be, whoever, for example, a new work is assigned to an particular employee. So before assigning the work, that employee should undergo training. So what happens in training? They will give what are the main aspects regarding this work, and if there is any problems or interruptions occurs in between the process, what is the decisions he has to be taken, and if there is any technical issues will be there, so how can he handle, so that all aspects will be included in the training. If there is any chances of improvements, sudden errors, so he is ready to be rectified or solved, he is able to be solved then only. So that is the main aspects they will include in the training in case of total quality management. Then teamwork means it is the key element of TQM, total quality management, to become successful in business. Teamwork means group of people working togetherly with more trust with more trust and loyalty, with same aim, means to maintain the quality of the manufacturing product. So group of people together, they will mainly work for the total quality in the final output of the product. So automatically it will enhance the success in the business. So main criteria is the customer satisfaction. So there is increase in business, means what happens, customer satisfaction is more. So what happens, there is need of the more output of that product. So at that case there is a more, so teamwork is the main aspect for enhancement in the success in business. Then next aspect is the leadership, to provide inspirational vision and make strategic directions that guide subordinates. Subordinate means those who are working under a team, means subordinate, means under the head of the department. So they provide inspirational vision, means continuously there should be motivation to the employees to make strategic directions. So what is the possible strategic direction, means what is the possibility, so that we can enhance the quality of the material. So what are the guidelines? So continuously they should be we should provide training and awareness to the subordinates to make sure that they should follow the good guidelines and correct guidelines according to the instructor. Then what are the binding motors? Binding means to maintain the relations. What is the binding to maintain? What is the binding aspect to maintain the relation in maintaining TQM? So communication means, if we want to communicate, it is common understanding of idea between sender and receiver. So communication binds everything together to form a foundation, which is the roof of TQM. So means what happens, it is the understanding of ideas between sender and receiver. Means who is the receiver here? Customer is the receiver. Sender means manufacturing firm or unit. So what happens, it is a basic understanding of idea. So what happens if, for example, we have taken certain product, it is released into the marketing. More business is going on that product. So what happens? So it is giving more, it is showing more potential effect on the, so it is gaining more business. So what happens? So automatically, so what the farmer thinks, manufacturer thinks, so we are maintaining the good quality. So customers is giving us positive response. So whenever there is any adverse effects, so such complaint should be sent to the respective firm, so that there will be chance of rectification. So this is the main communication between the receiver and sender, which is the main foundation or roof for to maintain the quality in the manufacturing process. So root. What is root? What is the basic? Root means what is the basic criteria or main criteria in maintaining TQM? Recognition. It is the last and final element of TQM, which provides suggestion and achievements for team as well as the individuals. So recognition means identification. It is the last and final element of total quality management, which provides suggestions. Means if there is any advices or achievements is there for team, as well as if it is as a team or to the individual person, we can mention, because we can recognize, we can identify. So that what happens, there will be chance of increase in confidence in the employee will be there. So what happens, it is also a type of inspiration to the employee, because if there is an achievement, we gave it as a reward. What happens, that employee will, with utmost positiveness, he will maintain, he will work more and give more quality of the product. So next is the philosophies of total quality management. First is a quality circle. It is also known as work improvement. So it is defined as a small group of employees who voluntarily meet at regular times so that they can identify, analyze, solve quality and other problems related to their work environment or organization. So first philosophy of the TQM is quality circle. Means we have to maintain the quality within the circle, means in the team. So it is also called as work improvement. So it is an aspect where a small group of people who voluntarily, means who regularly meets so that they can identify. So if they conduct any, for example, if we conduct meetings in a organization regularly, means on a frequent basis, it may be for once in a week or twice in a month, what happens, they will share their aspects. So what are the main rectifications they need. So it is a type of quality, so that what happens, there will be chance of the authorities to get there will be chance for the authorities to rectify what are the problems they need, so their problems they have. So likewise, quality is the, so quality circle is the identify the problem on regular meeting basis. They'll identify the problems and analyze and solve the quality and other problems related to their work environment. Next philosophy of the total quality management is the customer focus. Goal is to identify and meet customer needs. So we have to get the feedback from the customer. So what is the main criteria? What are the requirements they need in enhancing the quality of a product? So how to meet the customer needs. That is called the customer focus. Then applications. Where is the possibility of the customer focus? So partnership. In partnership means two or more people involving in gathering the feedback and maintaining the customer feedbacks, so that there will be chance of increasing the quality and quality in the work or improvement in the work. And service relationship with internal customers, and we have to maintain the service relationship with the internal customers, means suppliers, means who is the main mediator between the firm and the public. So we have to maintain the good relation with the internal customers. Then customer driven standards. If a drug is their drug is allowed to be marketed, so what happens if it is working very good, and what happens, so more demand will be there for the work. So if it is giving more adverse effects rather than giving rather than giving good conditions, it is giving as well as it is giving more adverse effects. So what happens in that case, the drug will be banned. And what are rectifications need to be, so the firm take the what are the rectifications need to be done. So all the feedback will be taken from the public, and they will rectify the what are the problems, if possible, what are the possibilities they have to consider, and they will do and maintain the, and they will rectify the all possibilities. Then never compromise quality. So whatever the process we have taken, so we should not in which how much time it will be taken, so it is not the criteria. We have to maintain the quality. Then third philosophy is the employer and employment. Employer means who is working in an organization is called employer. And the empowerment means it should be empowerment. We have to provide inspirational, so that awareness to the employee to work properly. So employees are expected to seek out, identify and correct quality problems. So employee should have a vision that he will be able to find out, identify and correct the quality if there is a problems. So employee should be able to solve the quality problems. Then so what are the applications we need to maintain the employer empowerment? So employee should undergo training, and they have to maintain the excellent team and measurements and recognition. So they should be, whenever they have done achievement, so we should recognize that. And then suggestions and scheme, if there is any new possibilities, so that we can maintain with less time, we can produce more bulk product with good quality. So if there is any SOP, so standard operating procedure, so if any suggestions from the team, among the team, so it should take consideration. So what are the main quality, so there are to control the quality with the help of statistical data, there are 7 different tools which are mainly helpful to control the quality of a product. So first one is the flowchart, and second one is the checklist, and third one is the quality control charts, fourth one is the scatter diagrams, and fifth one is the Pareto analysis, and sixth one is the cause and effect diagram, and seventh one is the histograms. With above all this, with the help of statistical data, we will know whether the product we have manufactured, we have prepared is in the control or or in control, or whether it is out of control. So with the help of these 7 tools, we will able to find out that quality of the products. First one is the flow chart. Let's see the all 7 tools. First one is the flow chart. These are schematic representation of the sequence of the steps involved in the process. So flow chart provides a visual tool that can be easily used and understood. So it is a schematic diagram, means it is a with regular schematic diagram means step-by-step procedure, and a flow means step-by-step serial wise steps involved in making of a process. So flowcharts provides a visual tool that can be easily used and understood. If we give any flowchart, means that employee can be he is able to understand very good, so with the help of flowchart. For example, I have taken the example of quality control flowchart. First, we have to receive the product for inspection, means checking of the product. Then inspection product for defects, if there is any defects, so we have to check. If it is yes, we have to identify the defects. If there is a no defects, so product passes for inspection, and then it will go to initiate correction if there is any need to be correction. So then you should correct it, then complete inspection, and the final is the end. So that is the main procedure. So that by seeing the flowchart involves the serial step-by-step procedure of a it's a schematic, means diagrammatic representation. By seeing it, we can easily identify where is the process defect with the help of flowchart. Then next tool is the checklist. These are the lists of common defects and the number of observed occurrences of the defect. So these are the common defects which occur, means these are the defects which normally occurs during the manufacture, and we can identify the how many observed, means how with number of frequencies we can identify the means number of frequency in a frequent time interval we can observe the how many defects has happened with the help of the checklist. Checklist is a simple and effective fact-finding tool using which the worker collects specific information regarding the observed defects. So what happens, who is working for the process, continuous process, so where is the defects, so the worker can easily identify with the help of checklist which stage the defects are going. So the worker or employee can be easily identified. I have taken the example. For example, defect type is broken zipper and number of defects is 3, means total defects for the whole process is 3, and ripped materials means it has 7, number of defects are 7, total 7. So missing buttons, in case of means it may be missing buttons means in case of package it differs with the package. It may be in case of packaging materials or in case of final labeling procedure, so whatever may be, so it is the defects. So missing buttons, there are 3 defects and total is the 3 defects. Faded, color faded means number of defects 2, total is the defect. So means by observing the data, taking the example, lower is the defect, high is the quality of the product. Then next aspect in quality control is the control charts. These important quality control tools or charts used for evaluating whether or not a process is working within the expectation related to some measured values such as weight, width or volume. So this control chart is mainly, we have to take the limit range, means for example we have taken a sample and we have to consider the limits, means upper limit and lower limit, and we have to find out the quality in such a way that whether it is within the limits, means it should be between upper limit and lower limit. So that is the case with the control charts. I have taken the example, then time sequence means at regular intervals, and then the sample value. I have taken the upper, then I have taken upper value and lower value, and on obtaining the statistical data, whether I'll consider how much average output, how much expectations I have, whether it is in the limit, how many samples are within the limit. In means within the limit means it should be between lower limit and the upper limit. So I have to take the average of the samples. If it is more, so there is a more in control process. So it means it implies that the quality is in good control and the quality is good of the product. Scatter diagrams. These are the graphs that represents the relationship between variables. Scatter diagrams are used to detect the amount of correlation or the degree of linear relationship between two variables. Mainly these scatter diagrams, if we take the time on x-axis, time interval on x-axis and samples on the y-axis. So what happens, it will define the relationship between the variables which were on x-axis, and the variables may be vary. It defines the relationship between the x variable and the y variable. If it is a good, if the amount of correlation is good, so it is a positive. So I have taken the example. Let's see the example. If the I have taken the sample, so it is giving positive correlation, means it is in the in control process, and it is giving negative correlation, means some samples, majority of the samples are out of control. So there is a no correlation, means samples are scattered, means we have to go for retesting of the sample for the quality purpose. Then Pareto analysis, it is a technique used for identifying quality problems based on their degree of importance. So what are the main criteria in enhancing the quality of a product? So you have to take the main aspects in maintaining the quality of the products. So I have taken the example of a tablet. So it is I have taken the blowhole, unfill, carbon, soldering, catching, and dent and blister packaging, crack. So what happens at every stage? So these are the tests we conduct for the tablets. So every test, so how many defects are there, and then how much quantity I have taken. On x-axis I have taken the how many defects, and then on y-axis I have taken the quantity of the product. So for this quantity and at this test, how much quantity of the how many defects I have found in the certain, I have taken quantity. So then I have calculated the percentage with the help of the Pareto chart. So these identify the quality problems and in important aspects. Then next aspect of quality control, quality control aspect is cause and defect diagram. These are the charts used for identifying potential causes for particular quality problems. They are also termed the fishbone diagram, as they look like a fishbone. So this cause and effect diagram, it looks like a fish. So it is also called fishbone. So it is also called a fishbone diagram. This is mainly used for the potential causes, means whatever the area we need to enhance quality, means it is the potential cause, means what is the main cause. For example, if we consume any tablet, what is the main effect of that respective tablet? So we take that aspect into consideration, and we take that how much quality we are maintaining in manufacturing. So that is the main aspect regarding the cause and effect problem. So cause and effect diagram involves man-made and machine-made materials, and what are the methods. And with the help of cause and effect diagram, we can identify that if there is any defect, we can identify in between process. If it is the main method, it is also if we find out if an employee find out any defect in the main step, it is called as primary. So primary cause. And then if it is any in the sub-step, means sub-step, it is called as secondary cause. And it is in the sub-step, it is called as tertiary causes. And mainly these primary causes, tertiary causes, and secondary causes will be we can observe when we handle with the machine. So in case of man making products, so that we can observe cause and what is the cause, where is the cause and where is the subcause, we can observe the defect there. In case of materials also we can observe where is the defect, means what is the cause. In case of sub steps also we can observe the subcause. In case of methods, in case of man, material and methods procedure, we can observe only the cause and subcause, means in main procedure and sub procedure in we can observe the causes. What are the causes we have to, what are the causes need to enhance the quality of the product. In case of machines, as it is a automatic, if we switch on the machine, it will automatically run the machine will run automatically until it finishes the final product. So primary causes, tertiary causes and secondary causes we can observe in case of machine made products, and we can find out the problems there and then. Next, final aspect is the histograms. These are the charts that represent the frequency and distribution of observed values of a variable. So we will compare how many defects for example, I have taken x-axis, how many defects, what are the defects for 1 hour, and the frequency means time interval I have taken. For 5 years I have observed 2 defects, and for 5 years I observed 2 defects, and for 10 years I observed 4 defects. Means defects are going, they are not stably going, they are going up and down. So histograms mainly indicates the quality of the defects, so at what interval it is the defects is going. So with on interval basis, on regular interval basis, means defects per hour we can calculate with the help of histograms. And then continuous improvement. So there should be a permanent objective of the organization. So for continuous improvement of the product, the organization should maintain certain rules and regulations. So what are the they need to maintain. Systemic measurement means they have to measure or weigh the quantity accurately. And excellent team, so they have to maintain the excellent team, means group of people, they should coordinate and they work and they identify, they should easily analyze the whenever there is errors in the process. Cross-functional process management. Cross-functional process management, whenever there is any doubt to be rectified by the other departmental person in aspect of in case of work. So they should be able to coordinate they should be able to coordinate. Then attain, maintain and improve standards. So we have to attain employee relation, we have to maintain the good relation and coordination, and finally final aim is we have to maintain the standards, means we have to maintain the quality of the products. So mainly on considering above the all aspects, mainly TQM will be described in a summarized in a PDSA cycle, means plan, do, study, act cycle. So in plan, it will carry out the project plan. So they will carry out. So what is the plan? So what is the main plan means what is the main work to be done. So do means what is to be implemented and collect the data. So what are the procedures they have to be taken. So what is the plan they have to implement. If they have any references or they have already collected the data, what is the main output of respective data, and what they have to be proceeded, means what they have to be followed. And then study, it is to study the data collected. So whatever data they have collected from the previous, it may be previous work or previously documented project. So whatever they have collected, they have to study. So what are the defects, what are the pros, what are the cons of the, if we implement this, if we implement any new method, what is the main effect. So they have to collect all the data and they have to study properly. Act, it is to study the data collected. So whatever data we have collected, and parallelly we have to do our work, what we have planned. So we have to do our work, and then parallelly we have to extract our data, means our results, and then we have to compare with the already previously collected data. So that relatively there may be relative comparison of the data means whether means they can take a reference, and there is a chance of good output in the quality of the product. So if first one, plans. So plan what is the main objective and why we are conducting. If we conduct this procedure, if we follow this procedure, what is the prediction, what is the final result of the product? And then plan what, why, what, where, when. So why we are taking this method to follow, and what is the plan we are conducting, why, where you are so from where you got this material, so where you have collected the data, and when it should be released, when it should be. So we have to plan for the data collection. So we have to collect the each and every data. So it will these aspects will include on the plan. Then do. So what is the main plan we have to carry out? What is the procedure we have to implement? And documentation problems and unpredicted observation. So if there is any documented problems, means documentation means already written in the manually written in the book, it is called documentation problems, because they have taken the reference from the previous data, already conducted data. So what is if there is any problem in the documentation, and what if there is an unpredicted observations will be there. So what is the plan, what is the next plan we have to be implemented? Then begin analysis of data. So we have to analyze what is the possibility if we follow this method. If we follow method B, what is the data we observe? So they should be analyzed. Then they should go for the study. Complete the analysis of the data, means complete the analysis of the, they should compare with the documented data and with the work what they have done, and compare data to prediction. So they have to compare the data, already documented data, and the data what they have done, and summarize what was left. And they have to in brief, means in short, they have to summarize what has the work they have done, and what are the data they have gotten, and what is the references they have made. So all that they have to include. And the final step is the act. What changes are to be made, and what is the next cycle. Then if there is any changes, if for example they have followed method A, if it is in between, means they have compared the documented data. So if it is nearly to the documented data, already done data, so they can proceed for the next process. And if it is not coming nearby data, or relatively the results are quite opposite, so what is the next plan? So what is the next method we have to follow? Then if it is execute well, it is okay. Then if it is not going good, so what is the next cycle? What is the next method we have to follow? So this plan, do, study, cycle. So with the help of this, we will do the main plan. It is a cycle. It is a plan cycle for maintaining the TQM. So benchmarking. So next is the benchmarking. Benchmarking is a practice of comparing business process and performance matrices to industry best practices from other companies. So benchmarking, it is comparing the other industry, what are the processes they are implementing, and what is the business strategy, and what is the performance of the employee, comparing all the aspects with the other companies. So that so they can rectify any rectifications, or they can any errors or any implementations. So there is a chance of improving the business and the performances of the employee, and so thereby it will increase the quality of the management. So it is called as benchmarking. Then dimensions typically measured are quality, time, and cost. So while taking the benchmark into consideration, main aspect is the quality, and then next one is the time, and then cost means what is the cost of the product, and how much time they are taking to manufacturing the product, and how much quality they are maintaining. These three aspects they'll consider with the other business, other industries or companies. It is also known, this benchmarking is also known as best practice benchmarking or process benchmark. It is also known, because it is it is also known as best practice benchmarks, because on comparing with the other companies' results, so that we can know that what is the situation of our company. So what is the competitiveness? So we can know the competitiveness among the companies. So it is the best process for the so it is the best process practice for the company to enhance the quality, to enhance the product output. So it is a process of measuring the performance of the companies against business considered to be best in class. Because what happens if they compare with the other companies in terms of quality, time, and cost? So what happens? They should be. What happens if it is going good competitively in the market? So it means they are best in class, means they are maintaining high quality and high sophisticated technology and high quality management, high good methods. So they're following good methods. The point of benchmarking is to identify internal opportunities for improvement. So main comparing with the other companies is main point is to identify the opportunities for the, so what is the area we need to improve. So what is the opportunity? So where is the cost? Where is the sub cost? What is need to be enhanced, the improve? So enhance the quality. So what is the main criteria to enhance the quality? So benchmarking is mainly in short, benchmarking is the relative comparedness of the comparedness of the best practices with the other companies. So what is the then next is advantages of total quality management. So what is the main, so what are the, there are 7 advantages. So what is the first advantage is the lower production cost. So they will produce with less cost. Less cost means less price. Emphasizing the need of the marketing means they have to analyze the, so what is the purpose of, so they to analyze in case of in view of the market. Assure better quality performance in every sphere of activity. So in every sphere means every stage, every step they have to assure, means they have to confirm for the quality of, maintain the quality of the whatever they are performing the product. Helps in checking non-productive activities and waste. It mainly helps in checking the non-productivity, means which is not useful, which is non-productive and waste. So that we can eliminate it, so we can avoid it. Continuous review of progress. So we can, so it is as TQM is a slow time consuming process, we can continue, so we can take the review of progress, means how much it is going. So at every stage we can take the, employee can take the review of the work. Helps in developing an adequate system of communication. It mainly helps in adequate means sufficient system of communication, because it helps in inter and intra communication of the employees or teamwork. So it involves the intra communication of the teamwork. So it helps in developing the innovative works, so that there will be a good communication among the teammates. Helpful in meeting competition. So they will help. Helpful in meeting competition means it will help in competitiveness among the employees or teammates. Then disadvantages of total quality management. Production disruption. So if there is any production means production disruption. Disruption means disturbance in between the process. So it will be very, it is a slow process. So if there is any production interruption there, so what happens automatically, it will affect on the quality of the product. Employee resistance. Employee resistance means if there is a new method to be followed according to the plan. So employee should be able to conduct without any resistance. He should be able to conduct and further continue the process. Demands a change in culture. If there is if they are from so many years they are following the same method, they want to change the methods or materials. So they should be able to implement the new innovation, new ideas. Demands planning, time and resources. So as TQM takes time, it demands the planning. It is a long process. Before going to the process, we need planning. And then time, how much time it is taking to finish the product. And then what are the resources, what are the useful aspects, whether it may be in terms of products or equipments. And then next disadvantage is quality is expensive. To maintain the quality in each and every step, so it takes some expensive, means it takes expenditure, it takes so much money, takes years to show results. As it is a slow process and long process, time taking process, it takes years to show the results. Because as TQM maintains the quality, it gives accurate results. So it takes so much of time to show the results. Discourages creativity. As it is taking the time process, it discourages, means new ideas will be discouraged, because so many years they are following the same procedure. Because with that procedure they are maintaining the quality in the product and they are getting the good market. So they discourage mainly new creativity of creativity, not quick fix solution. So so whenever there is a disruption occurs in between the process, we cannot fix it then and there, because it is a long process to be continued. So so whenever there is a problem will be there. So the solution also needs time to be fixed. So then, and last but not the least is the references. I have taken pharmaceutical quality assurance by Ansuya R. Kashi and Bindu Sukumaran and Veena R. And the next reference is the textbook of pharmaceutical quality assurance by Dr. Manish Kumar and Rajnish Garg. And then next is the concept of pharmaceutical quality assurance and quality management by Mrs. G. Sai Lakshmi and Dr. T. Vinay Kumar and Dr. K. Shantan Kumari and Mrs. S. Padmavati. These are the references books I have referred. Thank you.